President Biden attending the G20 summit today after meeting Chinese President Xi Jinping in Lima, Peru last week at the APEC summit and getting cast in the corner of the class photo.
Let's get right to senior correspondent John Huddy. He joins us live from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, with the very latest. John?
Well, yeah, that's right. And while President Xi was in the front row, Biden, as you saw, was kind of awkwardly positioned behind him off to the side. But both Presidents Biden and Xi did meet on the sidelines of the APEC forum there in Peru over the weekend. It wasn't a divisive conversation, though President Xi said that this is an uncertain time after the election for relations between China and the United States. And President Biden warning Xi about China's aggressive posture in the South China Sea with Taiwan, and also its ongoing support of Russia in the ongoing war in Ukraine. The war in Ukraine factoring into the talks here in Rio at the G20 summit. It is a major focus of conversation, particularly after President Biden announced basically a reversal in his administration's policy, allowing Ukraine to fire more longer-range weapons deeper into Russia. So that is a topic of conversation. But really the two main themes have to do with climate change. Number one, financing policies to battle climate change worldwide among the global powers, and then battling poverty and hunger as well. President Lula here in Brazil kicked the summit off today, earlier this morning, with an introductory greeting after all the heads of the nations arrived. President Biden, President Xi, Recep Erdogan of Turkey, Prime Minister Modi of India. One leader noticeably absent, though, Russian President Vladimir Putin. Sergei Lavrov, his foreign minister, is here in his place. And the leaders have been meeting behind closed doors and closed-door discussion throughout the day on these topics as well. So we haven't heard any major breakthroughs as of yet, so we're waiting on that, along with the famous G20 family photo. So we'll see where President Biden is positioned in that. But as I mentioned, climate change, hunger and poverty, two of the main issues. One of the things that we've also seen are some of the leaders from the favelas. One of the main favelas, Babylonia, is behind me. I actually went into another favela yesterday to kind of see the chaos for myself. And one of the other things we've seen on the ground here, you guys, is a massive display of security. Lula brought in actually the military, the Brazilian military, so soldiers are part of the more than 17,000 security personnel, the military, civil police, federal police that are involved with protecting Rio de Janeiro during this time, along with all the security details for the diplomats and for the various heads of state. So that is very prevalent over the last couple of days that we've been here. But as I said, those major issues, along with the war in Ukraine and also what's happening in the Middle East, all major focuses of discussion. One other person, though, who may not be here, but whose presence is very large, President-elect Donald Trump, his incoming administration, how that will affect not only the G20, but also Brazil and Brazil's relations with China, Brazil's largest trading partner. You guys, back to you.
John Huddy, thank you. We'll be back with more of National Desk after this.